Hi, good morning. It's Cindy, and welcome to my June summer camp. This class is starting on June 30th. Happy birthday, Max. She's 21 today. Going through to July 4th. We'll have challenges and prizes every single day, and the links for the challenges will be left open till July 15th because I know it's a busy time of year. People go on vacation. Or you could be getting ready for next school year if you live down south. As you all know, recently I moved, and one of the baskets that I ran into that I kind of forgot about at the other house was my finish up card or project basket. I have Christmas tags from like 4 years ago I'm still trying to do. Anyhow, I found this batch of thank you cards. I'm sure that this is paper tray ink. I don't know which set. And one of my favorite card making sizes that I like to use lately is these note cards and envelopes that are Whisper White from Stampin' Up. You get 20 in each of the note card and the envelope, but it's the size that I really like. It's 5 inches down by 3.5 across. Well, these aren't even, they're not closed yet. So it's going to be 5 this way and 3.5 this way. So I've been using these a lot, and this is from another pack. So I have several of these cards here that I've just gone ahead and folded up. I just left 2 to do it in front of you, although I know that you know how to fold cards, but what's really critical about folding these cards is we have to get them absolutely flat and straight, which this Teflon bone folder that I love will do. Because if I were to sit this up, I mean, you can just see that perfect crease right there. So there's one. I'm going to go ahead and do the other. And the reason why I say that is because, again, we're going to stamp an image like halfway on the card, and it has to be flat so it doesn't go everywhere. When I saw these cards, and I had just recently gotten a thank you card from Tasmin of Altenew. I'll never be able to pronounce that right, and I'm really trying to find that card right now because I got everything together last night. I did some stamping beforehand just so it could dry overnight on vellum. I didn't want to hurry it along or anything like that. And I'm just kind of yakking away while I'm trying to find that card that she's... This is the little handmade card I got from Tasmin at Altenew. I wish somebody would show me how to pronounce that. And I wanted to figure out which gold ink that she used on there. I could not find my Hero Arts gold ink. However, this is the Encore ink, and over here is the Delicata Pigment Golden Glitz ink. And when I put it right up next to this, it was just, it was a perfect blend. And I like the shine on this a lot more as well. It's a little bit of a lighter gold compared to the Encore. I mean, you can obviously see that that doesn't match, but this does. And my Encore ink pad is very, very sticky too, so I'm glad that the Delicata works. I'm going to just go ahead and grab in a piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to see how this looks when I put everything together to stamp so it's still in your line of sight. Okay. We're good. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and ink this up. And in all weddings, there's always some kind of silver, some kind of gold, even though the colors of the bridesmaid's dress and whatnot, because there's generally two. I know that with my son and daughter-in-law, they use, it was like I did everything of theirs, but the actual wedding invitations themselves, they used more of like that, it was that moss color and the pretty in pink. Now, I have noticed with this Delicata ink, compared to the Encore, it does have a tendency to sink into places that you don't want it to sink into or not cover all the way, even though it's very beautiful. So I've got my thank you card here, and I'm going to go in as far as I can with this, with not necessarily covering it, but this is like the first time I've stamped it, so I'm just going to kind of wing it a little bit. So I'm going in at an angle because you do still want to see the sentiment. And I am just putting a lot of pressure on this. Because it's a very big stamp, and it comes from their stamp set called Lace Up, and that's how big the image is. Perfect. I like the way that turned out, because you can still see everything. Even better, all of us have like this little stash of plastic boxes that you can go ahead and put cards into, and then fold everything up and send it as a gift. And this is another reason why I love that Teflon bone folder, because this thing just creases. This box is never going to lose its shape. I am putting some pretty significant pressure on it too. You know, and if you don't have one of these, run to the store or just order online from somewhere and you'll get it in a couple days. And I ordered a couple more of these because if I lose one, I'll flip out. You know, it's kind of like losing my little pokey tool here. Not good. And so every single crease that you see, including these little tabs here, you just want to go ahead and get creased up. This one was pretty easy. I just sort of went on the inside there. And as you can see, it's taking form of a box right now, and when you're done doing all of your creasing, you are going to end up with this. See, aren't you proud of me now? Instead of doing that all in front of you, I'm like a little bit more prepared. So we have some good room. Obviously this here is the bottom just because it's a little bit more uglier, I think. So we have a lot of room. I'm not putting those two cards in there because I know that they're still drying. To go ahead and put our thank you cards in here and our envelopes, and you're thinking, okay, well, this is my cat just came to live with me, and oh gosh, in between him and the dogs, this is going to be like the fur palace. It's like these are going to be sliding around and everything, and I don't like the way that they're wrapped. Well, another thing that Altenew also does that I appreciate, and I've been hanging on to, I hang on to like all the tissue paper that comes in whatever I get. Their tissue paper is like this, and it's great, and it's gold. And when I do get my stamps, I just kind of go like this and shake them on out, just to leave it as it is, because I don't want to mess it up. But they do use good quality washi tape, so I could even reuse that to close this all with. So the next thing I would want to do, of course, is open this up, probably grab, now this is like one big sheet folded in half, but it's going to be awfully big for our cards. I think the best thing to do is just to go ahead and cut down this very first line here. You know what? I'm going to fold that. Make sure everything's even on the sides, or, you know, kind of like how it came to me. I have my paper trimmer right here, and I am going to be ever so careful. And that might be easier than cutting. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I just changed my blade too, thank God. It went through like butter. Awesome. And then I still have some tissue paper left that I can use at a later time. I'll put the little washi tape back on. That's still intact. So like I said, we're just kind of mocking everything up right here. We'll do this side. So I'm just going to get these cards about like that. And then I brought over some washi tape of my own, and I'm going to go ahead and use this really thin Congrats as soon as I can find where the get this thing unrolled here. Okay, I do like the idea of using a larger piece first, since that is pretty small. And to make it look nice and all pretty and formal, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. It's like, okay, this chick is weird. She smells her stamps and cuts her washi tape. You know, this is a gift. We want it looking all pretty. And then the recipient, you know, it'd be really easy for her just to kind of take that off. And I'm going to have to move mine down. There we go. It's always a good thing to cover the tissue paper. So now I'm going to get all neurotic, and this one just repeatedly says congrats, and I'm going to cut right after the dot that comes in between each word there, and I think I'm just going to pull off, I'm going to pull off 3. So it's going to start with a dot and end with a dot. I can tell you that I'm 99.9% sure that I got this from Tailored Expressions. I had to do a new one because I didn't cut before the dot. Okay, so we're just going to kind of, I think that looks really cute. So I'm going to roll it away from me, because the envelopes, remember, they're bigger than the cards. So we're going to have a little bit of sliding around, but at least it's going to be done in a very cute, cool, classy way. Okay, that's going to be even for me. I'm going to go ahead and grab another piece of this washi tape. Go ahead and get that a good cut. I'm not going to do anything about the sides. Okay, let's put it this way. I'm debating about wrapping it like a present, okay? I got lots of time to do that. So I just want to make sure that that covers it. I'm going to go ahead and grab my Congrats washi tape again. I think this is like the second time I've ever used this on a project. I don't know. I make my own a lot. I have a video at Split Coast Stampers on how to do that. Actually, they featured it on their newsletter. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay, now I want to cut after the dot. Alright. And again, I'm just going to do the same thing that I did before. I will go ahead and let this go to the other side. And we're going to see how this goes if I were to wrap it up like a Christmas present. Because, you know, the weirdest thing is, I can make a pretty decent card, okay? I'll give myself that. I can't wrap presents to save my life. I have to bring that closer to me just so I can... There. And it's just... It's kind of frustrating. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm just going to washi tape up this end the exact same way that I've been doing the other two ends, and then I will show you what my little finished package looks like here. Okay, I actually got that, remember, here's our gift box, but it looks good. I am proud of myself. However, it's still too small to fit in here, and we're going to have some empty room, and I know how to fix that. I'm doing this in stages because I want to jazz up the card on the outside a little bit, and instead of doing a ton of using my heat tool and dealing with warping, I've just been letting it dry. This thank you dried overnight, a tag that I made dried overnight, but I don't want to give like the farm away right now. So I think what we're going to do here is I have a ton of embellishments I brought out because I really couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to use. The sequins are by Pretty Pink Posh. And I have the little 4mm ones, which would be perfect for this. This is Paulina's Christmas mix, and I can grab one of the larger ones to maybe put in the middle here, or bag that all together, and put one of these basics in there on the same tone. I'd like to keep it consistent. With the sequins, you're going to be able to still get away with one stamp. I think with this even you can do one stamp. I'm going to go with a smaller one here. I chose that because it's very subtle. It doesn't fade into the card. It complements it. I think that the larger enamel dot would have dominated it, and I don't want that. I just want this to be, you know, a nice, beautiful, elegant thank you card. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use the 4mm sequins on here. And I think that they're going to be just right big enough. Okay, I'm going to be putting on my last sequin. I don't like the matte medium at all. I think it kind of trashed my card up here a little bit. I did have to take an eraser. I barely put any on the back at all. It's just not my vibe, and we all have brains. If you have something that works, stick with it. I mean, trying new things is cool and all, but if it works, don't break it, or whatever that saying is. So I just got my trusty micro glue dots out, and I've never had a problem with them coming off in the mail or ending up where they shouldn't be or anything of the sort. So I'm just going to put... Okay, so that's how we're going to be doing our card in steps. I want to say that, well, we're definitely done with the outside. I think it turned out very, very nice. It may look kind of, we have nothing over here, but that's okay. If you want to, bring back in that huge stamp. Okay, we did it like this. So what you'll want to put down here is about that. I'm going to move it down a tad more. So something like that, or even move it up and completely have your image coming in from both sides. I mean, you won't have the sequins coming in over here, but if you feel that your card is not balanced, by all means, then go ahead and put something over there. I'm okay with what I did on the outside for the simple fact that I have my flower over here on the right on the inside. So, again, I'm going to set this aside since we have that done. Now, like I said, we're going through phases. I have some double-sided, no, not really. It's just sticky paper, basically. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go ahead and grab the stamp set that I will never be able to pronounce. Dodecagram? Anyways, that's what it is. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to pull off this image right here. And I'm using archival ink, which we all know has to dry. Or you can heat set it. Since this has sticky stuff on the back, you might want to be just a little bit careful. With my ink pads, or with my stamps, anytime I use anything that's archival, pigment, anything that's not water-based, I clean it immediately. Either I take it over to the sink, white ink, gold ink, silver inks, inks like that, I take to the sink. This black one, I won't. If I don't like the results of what I get cleaning it from my stamp pad, then I will go ahead and take it to the sink. But my Stampin' Scrub is like really dirty. Okay, I think I got that. I'm not like a jet black archival user too much. Let me make sure you can see this. Now this is the image. Beautiful. Look how crisp that's stamped. That's why I use this ink. I don't have that Versamark that everyone keeps talking about, but I do have it on order. I've had it before, but I eBayed it. But look at those clean lines. I love it. Got this hint from Laura Basson. She said that she likes using Ranger Archival. So I'm going to see how clean this baby comes out real quick. Doable, but I still think I'm going to take it to the sink. So while I'm doing that, this is going to sit here and just give me a little bit of drying time. Okay, I got my stamp washed off, gave this real low heat 5-10 seconds, flipped it over, did it, gave it some more heat. And you know what? I just noticed I'm like right in the middle of a root canal, okay? And it's close to one of my front teeth. And I've caught like my tongue getting in there a few times, and I kind of sound like Cindy Brady. So you got to excuse that, because I was just thinking about that as I was talking. It's like, wait, that word didn't come out right. So this is going to be dry. I wish I didn't wrap up our little gift yet, because this element does need to be put inside. And I know we're going back and forth and all over the place, and I hope that you're following with me, but I have a reason. I'm not going in order for a reason. One's the drying time factor on the card. The other is I really want to keep the video short. With this series here, we're gonna step it up. You know, we're gonna do more complicated things, and one day it just may be like, okay, here's a sketch, let's do it. Okay, now we're gonna concentrate more on the envelope, and what this flower is right here, it's going to be we're gonna seal the envelope with this. And you may think it's kind of big. It's not big. And we're going to help the bride out a little bit, because she's going to have a lot of thank you cards to write. The first thing that we want to do is go ahead and pull back in our Stampin' Up set of Bouquet Toss. And then we're going to grab the Mr. and Mrs. Sentiment. Trying to get that on there straight too, and it took like forever. It didn't want to go to this block for some reason. So now this is when we're grabbing back in our gold ink, and we want to get some good coverage here, but at the same time, you know, let it dry. You don't want everything warped from heat embossing. And this is going to be, you know, maybe a 2 to 3 day project if you take your time and just sneak to it when you can. I'm not going to be doing any 4th of July projects because today's the 30th and you already have them planned out. And if you don't, then you're going to be going to the grocery store. I have ink where I don't want ink. I'm going to stamp this envelope anyway. We'll see how it turns out. And I'm going to pull it back towards me just a little bit because you can still see. And I'm going to put this up in the corner there. And then that way the bride can write, you know, the name and the return address and everything like that. Because when you just get married and everything, you're like all excited and good. That turned out well. Now, see how juicy that is? That's why it needs to dry. And it'll dry very pretty too. This is where you're going to bring in the rest of the wedding colors. And it looks like this. And how I got this shape is I went ahead and I grabbed the Stampin' Up! Frameless, the envelope liners. This one here will do a 3x3. This larger one will do your basic, you know, A2 size standard card. This one here, I don't know. I haven't read about it, but it's pretty close to my size envelope that I need. It's a little bit too big, and it's very slippery too. This is something that you would want to use sticky strip on, or that new fuse tape or whatever. Okay, well maybe that was meant for this because frankly it's a perfect fit. You know, right up here is the gum where you seal the envelope, and it just went all the way down. The only thing that really bums me out is that there is no crease. So we have to make that ourselves. Zeke, no! I need to get you a scratching post. Start. So how I'm going to do that is, again, I'm just going to make sure it's pushed all the way down. It's very cool how you can see the gold stripes through here. I'm going to turn this to the side, grab my T-ruler, and get that thing lined up. You know, really help is if I just give it a really good crease right there. It'd be easier to see under these bright lights. So this is a really good way to introduce the colors of the wedding in kind of a very cool, almost conspicuous way. I can't find my contacts, so I've been having to wear my glasses, and I'm old. They're trifocals, and it's all about how you move the head. And so I can see what I'm doing by like moving my head up and down like a bobble doll. So what I'm going to do with this right here, you can see where I drew the line. There you go. I'm going to take that over to my scoring tool and then just go ahead and score it. start. Okay, I don't recommend doing that just because of the texture of this paper. It's slippery, okay? It's really hard to get a grip. So I'm just going to have to do it the old-fashioned. So just go ahead and close it like that. I'm going to grab my bone folder. I don't like not being precise. Kind of bothers me. Okay, there we go. Now, since this is kind of tacky and weird, we need some really strong adhesive. Okay, I found where it started at. I'm going to go ahead and put some tape on the back of that, and since you've all done that before, you don't need to be watching me doing it. It's boring. I did that. If you have pets, check for dog hair. And I'm going to make sure that that is right where it belongs. Then how I normally do this is I just scoot it, I butt it up right up against the envelope. With this one I can't. Different everything. Okay, I got a sticky mess. I'm just going to go ahead and close this. Okay, so now we have a beautiful envelope, and I'm going to go ahead when you open it, so pretend that, well, not pretend, this is the front. And then in the back here you have this beautiful pattern that resembles the color of their wedding. So with that being said, I thought that it would be a really good time to, this is going to be a very detailed project, go ahead and cut some, oh, what's this stuff called? It's right in front of my face. Some, well, gold baker's twine. It was easy enough. I'm going to cut it like that, and it always, always, always smears on you, or, you know, it doesn't, it frays. So this is our front, and I'm going to wrap this around like this, turn it over, zoom out some more so you can see what I'm doing. And you've all done this before too. Make sure my edges are straight, and they are. And then I am going to tie a knot, and it's going to be a double knot. And this is where you use those tweezers to help you out and keep that like that. Because that way when you're trying to get everything just perfect in the front, you're not going to have the back giving you any grief. And there we go. And the twine will tell you which way it wants to go. Listen to it. Okay, good. I still have straight edges, or, you know, even. And let's that roll, tie it under here. Not a rule, but just, okay. There we go. And make sure that this is in the middle. And it is. I'm grabbing my tweezers back. And I'm going to put it right there, just like that. And I'm going to do another double knot. So that way when I put my bow on, I don't have any grief at all. And as you can see, this is pretty tight. It's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to put that right there. I can already see it getting wonky on me. And I'm just going to tie it like you would your shoe. I mean, doing it the bunny ear way, it always looks better and it comes out nicer, and you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff right there. So I'm going to try it one more time. And if it insists on just giving me grief, it's going to do it. And I'm not going to fight with it. Okay, I'm good with that. I have my finger between my bow, or my little bunny ear, and I'm pushing down in the center. Get them nice and even. And nothing's all twisty-turny, which is cool. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges. I was kind of thinking about putting a flare in the middle, but it's going to get ripped off anyway. I'm perfectly happy with this. We have our envelope over here. And we did. Okay, here's our envelope. Why this is not stamped over here, I don't know. But we'll go ahead and do that now since we have some time before we get back to this. Okay, I went ahead and stamped that, and then here is our colors. I have to go ahead and let this dry. So by the time that we're said and done, I'm going to have one complete envelope that's perfect like this, and then one complete card for you, okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to do while this dries, I'm just going to set that over there. Okay, this was the box I made last night. So I'm keeping it over here and keeping it out of the way. Is that for to stuff the box, you're going to need, I still can't believe I found this. I'm going to go ahead and use some black, oh, what do they call this again? I forgot. It was right on the other one. Paper crinkle. We're going to go ahead and do black and white paper crinkle, and we're going to sprinkle some gold glitter in. It's going to look fabulous. So getting this in without we're going to put this in first, because you want it to look pretty and even. And I'm going to lay it down on this side. Wait, hold on for a second. That goes that way. That's the front. I want to turn it around. Because we don't want anything on the front but the pretty stuff. So this is going to go in this way. Like that. I'm going to flip it upside down. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put in some paper crinkle, and you know how this gets everywhere. I don't have any gold at this time. For something like this, ideally, they come in, you know, like the Christmas packs, they'll have like a beige and a red and a green, and it looks fabulous. I know that for black and for gold, they offer it around Christmas, and it just looks really, really nice. But it's still in, you know, separate packages. So I've got my black there. I have to do a little bit on each side to even it up. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And I just picked it up at, you know, my local craft store. I'll be vacuuming this stuff up for weeks, and you know it. I mean, look at that, how I have to pull it out. Okay, good, you can see. And I'm going to just kind of put the white down here a little bit. I wish, if I dumped it all out on my desk or parts of it, I could mix it up. Might as well do this right. Okay, see how I'm mixing it up like that? So when I shove it back in, I'm going to have a nice mix. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it back in on the sides. And it will be on the back as well, but not the front. Now, if you want, grab a little plastic circle, and then go ahead and close this up right here so nothing comes out. And I do have a plastic circle. As a matter of fact, when you buy these, they come with a plastic circle. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in after everything else is in. I'm going to go ahead and get some more black. This is going to be like the most intense project we do all week, okay? I promise. It's our first. Okay, that looks just about right. You don't want that. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix it up. I can feel it like fall all the way down my leg. Bella is still at puppy daycare, so I haven't seen her for a long time either. But at least she's with my cousin. So I'm going to move this down this way. So I have a spot to go ahead and put all this in. And I may just have a little bit too much, you know, which is okay because you can always, you can always take some out, do whatever you have to do. But this is going to be a nice snug fit, and it's really important to get it on the sides. And I actually happen to know where that those little plastic things are. I can't believe that. This was already in something I had up here, so. Okay, we're going to get this straight. You know, I don't think it'd kill anybody to have like a little bit on front too. Especially at the bottom. Just, you know, make a mess, have a good time. It's going to like trash my bow, but you know, who cares? Now the good thing about not putting this or sealing this shut is that I can open up, steal some, spread it apart, and put it down there. And then go ahead and close it back up. There we go. And that's nice and secure. That's the back. You have a, I was going to say, nice looking front. That thing's snug. It's not going anywhere. I'm just going to grab a couple pieces I have on my desk. Now, this is like the super fun part. I am going to go grab my plastic is clear circle that goes around here, because what I put in next, I am definitely going to want it, and so are you. Hi, this is Cindy again. I have to apologize. I don't know what happened to this part of the video, and I can't do it all over again. I had left off where we were putting on our little circle enclosures. Okay, there's one right here, right underneath this ribbon, and I put 2 on the bottom. I'm going to have to explain to you what I did. After I got the crinkle in and put the 2 little plastic round circles on the bottom, I grabbed some of these sequins. They're flat, like 6 millimeters, 6 and 7. There's some 5 millimeter. They're cupped. There's stars. There's moons. Just all sorts of adorable gold sequins. And I dumped them down here, as you can see, right there. And it looks very, very pretty. Then I got some Gina K Designs black onyx organdy ribbon in 3/8 and in 5/8, and I wrapped the package like this. So you have 4 bows, and they're nice and round and everything like that. I put the 5/8 around, and then with the 3/8, that's where I put these 2 tags. This one here is just the foil, gold foil cardstock from Stampin' Up! And this here is also just the gold and vellum cardstock from Stampin' Up! I use that, I think it's a Dope K, whatever that one is. That it has a congratulations on it, and I stamped that using Ranger archival ink. Lightly heat set it, and then just 2 congratulations, put a little heart down here. I use a Stampin' Up! Tag to make these. You have to cut the tags 2 inches across, okay? However, down you one's really up to you, but I know that I wanted mine to kind of be longer than the box. And then with both of them, I grabbed this scallop punch and then did that, making the gold foil tag longer. And then that's where I inserted the 3/8 ribbon to tie these tags on. Then, since I just kind of had like this knot in the middle, I got this little tiny black, I'm going to zoom in some more, hopefully you can see it better. That little tiny black dahlia there, I got that from the Paper Tray Ink Boutique, and it came out of this Blossoms Resin Flower Lily Pack by Kaiser Craft, and you can see I took the smallest one there, and I adhered it to the ribbon with some glossy accents. So instead of watching me do all this, this is like the final part too. I'm putting the paper together, or the project together, and I'm kind of devastated, but I didn't want to take it all apart and do it all over again. I'd have a lot of product waste here, and I feel awful about it. With the edge of the tails, though, I did go ahead and cut a V-snip into every single one of them, and like I said, with the tags, I kept the tails to my ribbon longer, but this is how it turned out, and it's pretty steady in there. There's just a lot of fun little elements to where it's almost two packages in one. So this is what our little bridal thank you card gift box looks like. I'm still floored about losing this video. I mean, how does that happen? Because I keep my camcorder plugged in at the same time, so I never run out of juice for it, so this doesn't happen. But I'm glad by the time that everything's said and done, I think the video is going to be, let me check, because for a project as long as this and as intense as this, time-wise, it's about 50 minutes. And I could do that doing a card, and you know that. So I'm getting better. Anyhow, join me tomorrow. We're going to do some coloring with markers just to have a chill day. We're also going to do some watercoloring this week, like borderless watercoloring, like no black around it watercoloring. That should be fun. I saw Nicole McWork do something like that, and it just really intrigued me. And I think I want to bring out some Debbie+9 too. So stick with me. It's already on the blog, what your challenge is and everything like that. So again, thank you for joining me for day 1 of our June summer camp series. And I will see you again tomorrow for day 2. In the meantime, make it a great day, and God bless you. Bye!